Greetings! Welcome to Nina's World. This podcast provides a short respite from the trials and tribulations of everyday life. We're going to step back in time to the 1950s and 60s. And now, our story. Nina's family at Thanksgiving. Amen. If Nina had been any more excited, she would have burst like a balloon filled with confetti. Christmas was coming, and there was still so much to do. Buying presents, cutting construction paper garlands, arranging nativity statues, and the train set, which she loved even though it was a boy thing. She hoped there would be time for her mother to make cookies, but all thoughts of Christmas were premature, since they hadn't yet had Thanksgiving. The stores were decorated for Christmas without a thought about the importance of Thanksgiving Day. And tomorrow would be Thanksgiving, with special food, fancy dinner plates used only on the holidays, special desserts, and leftovers that would be refrigerated after they had turkey sandwiches later in the evening. Nina liked to put cranberry sauce on her sandwich of buttered toast and sliced turkey. Broth would also be made from the carcass after it had been boiled in a big pot for a few hours. As excited as she was, Nina always liked to savor each moment of a holiday and tuck it away with other happy memories. Nina's family rituals were as comfortable as old bedroom slippers. The next morning, her mom started to prepare the stuffing by ripping up stale bread, dicing celery and onion, or assigning that task to one of the older girls, sauteing them in melted butter before adding spices. The smell was the epitome of what holiday aromas should be. She mixed it with bread cubes and chicken broth, stuffed the bird like he deserved it, sewed up the you-know-what, and had lifted it in the oven. Then, time to focus on other foods. Some poor soul would be given the job of peeling 5 pounds of potatoes, and Nina knew in her heart of hearts that one day she'd be given that task. Cranberry sauce with and without berries was always a highlight because it made even dried out turkey edible. Canned corn, fresh carrots, and maybe, just maybe, biscuits hot from the oven would be on the menu. And, of course, the pies. Sweet apple, tart cherry, and cinnamony pumpkin would reheat while dinner was being eaten. As her mother toiled like an indentured servant, Nina's older sisters covered the table with an embroidered cloth and set it, folding each paper napkin in the shape of a tent. Finished with that, and time to give their mom some breathing space, Nina, Dad rounded up the pilgrims and took them for a walk in Horace Park. They pretended to be on their way to their first Thanksgiving, discussing how grateful they were for all they had learned from the Lenni Lenape. Paul reminded them that putting part of a dead fish in with the seeds when planting helped them grow. Martin was glad that they now knew about corn, and the girls talked about boiling squash for soup. Nina went on the walk and spent much of her time collecting pretty leaves, while Dorothy and Martha folded pine cones into the front of their polo shirts. The 3 little monkeys decided they would decorate the table with their treasures. Heading home seemed to take longer than heading out, and everyone was feeling hunger pangs. Bursting through the front door, they headed for the kitchen, which was narrow and not very long. The countertops were laden with the golden turkey that was not to be touched, although that did not stop some not to be named people from picking at the crisp skin. Stuffing, mashed potatoes, vegetables were in bowls covered by tin foil. Nina's mom often wondered why the kitchen was where her family wanted to congregate, especially since there was no place to sit and still so much to do. She ordered them out to wash their hands. After sharpening the carving knife, Nina's dad started putting slices of white and dark turkey on a platter, drumsticks and wings in a bowl, claiming one for himself. He looked around to see what else needed to be done. The older girls placed the serving spoons in bowls and carried them, still with the tin foil to keep the food hot, to the dining room, moving some of the pine cones and leaves to make room. Their mom made the hot, savory gravy, filled most of it in a bowl, added a ladle, and delivered it to the table, telling everyone to wait just another few moments. She returned to the kitchen, tucked hot biscuits from the oven into a basket with a cloth napkin on top to keep them warm, and placed the pies in the still warm oven to heat. At last, the whole family was seated at the table. Thanksgiving was their dad's favorite holiday. He said it liked it because it focused on God given blessings and families gathering together. It reminded him of the stories he had heard from his parents about harvest festivals in their native, now faraway homeland. Nina looked over the food, contemplating making a well with her mashed potatoes, filling it with gravy, eating around the edges to keep the gravy in place until it spilled onto the plate. And wait, where, where's the cranberry sauce? Thanksgiving wasn't Thanksgiving without cranberry sauce. How was she going to eat her favorite sandwich without it? Nina's dad called for his family's attention for grace before meals, but Nina piped up, Wait, we can't say grace. We can't do anything. We don't have our cranberry sauce. Where's the cranberry sauce? Everyone started looking on the table as if it would appear like an apparition. Nina's mom was about to get up, but Rosa and Teresa told her to stay put. Into the kitchen they went. Looking at the roasting pan, they saw Sarah's cat standing with two paws in the now cooled pan, happily lapping remnants of the gravy. Rosa stopped to scream as she lifted the dreadful, dastardly culprit from the scene of the crime. Teresa used a paper towel to clean its paws, called to her sister, Sarah, come and get your cat right now and put her in the bedroom. Sarah did come, ready to defend whatever crime her dear little kitty had been alleged to have committed. But when they whispered what happened and handed over the slate gray cat, Sarah took the not-so-sweet kitty where she could not get into any more trouble. Please don't tell Mommy, or I might have to give Shadow away. She didn't do much harm. The girls agreed to keep the secret. From the dining room, what's going on out there? Did you find the cranberry sauce? They replied, everything's fine. We're still looking. We'll bring it in a minute. Rosa put her head in the refrigerator, moving items around, looking on each shelf for the cans of cranberry sauce. She wondered where they could be, told Teresa to look on the counters. When Sarah returned, she was told to look in the cabinet. No cranberry sauce in the refrigerator. No cranberry sauce on the counters. No cranberry sauce in the canned goods cabinet. Simply put, no cranberry sauce. The sisters looked at each other, and in a whisper, Sarah asked, What should we do? Teresa replied, For Pete's sake, what can we do? There's no cranberry sauce. There's no cranberry sauce. Rosa, you go in and tell everybody you couldn't find it. Rosa replied, Me? I couldn't find it? None of us could find it. Unless there's a miracle. Paul called from the dining room. Are you having trouble with the opener? Hurry up. We're hungry. The three sisters walked into the dining room. Rosa said, sorry, there's no cranberry sauce. We looked in the fridge and on the countertops, even in the cabinet, but no cranberry sauce. Moons and groans and comments. That's impossible. No cranberry sauce on Thanksgiving? It must be somewhere. What are we going to do? Their father said, everyone just calm down. We'll give thanks for what we have, and we'll enjoy the meal just the same. After the sign of the cross, he led them in offering thanks to God for the food, for those who grew it, those who prepared it, and for the many blessings bestowed upon them. Nina's mom stood up. Wait, I remember where I put the cranberry sauce. The cans are on the side steps. I wanted them to cool. Go get them. Laughter and cheers as the older girls went to find, open, and place the cranberry sauce in dishes. They carried the bowls above their head like court pages bringing in prized dishes for the royal family. Rosa thought to herself, a miracle, after all. Some of Nina's siblings said what they were grateful for, but Nina, being Nina, sat back in her chair, looked around at her family, took a mental snapshot, stored it away. Moved by the moment, Nina swallowed a small lump forming in her throat and simply whispered, Amen. The end. Thank you for visiting with us today. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to this podcast and share it with everyone you know. Return next week for another story from Nina's World. This story was written and read by Christine McKee, with gratitude to Dr. Ethel Ratkin of Bucks County Community College for editorial consultation and encouragement. Additional heartfelt support from family, friends, and members of my writing groups. Technical support was provided by Mr. Dan Tarrant of Personally Catholic. Sound engineering by Mr. Andrew Kimlock of AK Productions. May you embrace peace in your heart, in your home, and in your world.